Julie again with Let's Get Strollin', and today we're at Rattlewood Farms and we're meeting with one of the trainers, Will. Hi Will, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you too. I'm so glad I wore the right attire today. I have my cowboy boots on, and I'm, just so the audience knows, I am literally perched on the fence here. I might fall at any moment, so here we go. Hopefully one of the horses won't nudge me off. But hey, I want to ask you about this beautiful farm. For our viewers who don't see, we'll be showing you pictures. This is gorgeous. Tell me how many acres you have here.
Altogether is 250 acres.
Wow.
190 acres of continuous property here at corner of Ray and Delano. Goes out to North Oxford, and then we have an additional 50 across Delano.
Wow, okay. And it's not far from town, but boy, you feel like you almost enter another universe out here. Yeah. And you were telling me earlier that people just say, wow, it's like God's country out here. I mean, it is just unbelievably beautiful and rolling hills. And
we're very blessed. I've actually had delivery people show up, and truck drivers from Kentucky, and they're like, this is like a little piece of Kentucky right here in Michigan.
Really? I love it.
Yes.
Yeah,
really.
I would absolutely agree. So tell me a little bit about what your role is here and how it works. Tell me all about a horse farm. I don't know anything about it.
Well, the Wood family purchased this piece of property about 5.5 years ago. Prior, it was known as Red Bob Farms.
Okay.
And was a thoroughbred breeding facility, and there was a veterinarian here by the name of Helga Duffy that a lot of people know. We used to bring her cats and dogs for emergency care in the evening. Prior to that, it was originally purchased for Bob Duffy's son and the U.S. eventing team as a training facility.
Okay.
So we have had 2 U.S. eventing teams trained for the Olympics on this piece of property.
That's impressive.
Back in the late 40s, early 50s. And then Major Borg was brought in. He was a cavalryman and a dressage and jumping trainer, and he was here for decades, and he is an institution among the horse people in the community. Then Helga moved out, and Woods were fortunate enough to buy the facility, and it's been a very long, slow process of bringing the farm back.
Okay.
But we're getting good reviews from the community. So
yeah, you have quite an operation here. Actually, when you're driving through, there's all different buildings and stuff, and looks like you know, obviously we have the horses out here that you were telling me that, you know, basically the owners of these horses can board them here. But you were telling me that there's really a multitude of services that you offer.
We have most of my clients are adults. Most of them pursue dressage, riding.
Okay. Can I just interrupt you there? Can you please tell me what dressage is, so that for our audience who doesn't know?
Dressage is actually a style of training. Most people think of it as a style of riding. It's a style of training where you're talking about developing the horse's natural balance through harmony between the horse and rider. And if someone is doing dressage correctly, they will be able to ask the horse to perform specific movements, and the general public would never see those aids being used or the cues given.
If someone is interested, let's say you're an adult or a child, whatever, getting into this sport, if you will, they could come to you and you could give advice or kind of give them an idea of what direction they should go, what horse they should choose, this sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah, I always recommend that if someone is interested, they should take lessons, you know, find a trainer in your area. Take lessons, find a couple different trainers, you know, because not all trainers and not all riders are going to connect. Meld.
Sure.
And then you kind of assess that person and their abilities and their skill set, and then you try to find a horse that fits them.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that it's the forever horse, because they might outgrow that horse.
Okay.
And then you can move on. It's like you don't put a 16-year-old in a 69 Stingray and turn them loose on a 696.
I would agree with that.
You know? So you need to find an appropriate horse for that rider. You need to find the appropriate vehicle for your teenager or for your grandmother.
Sure.
Whatever the case may be. And then as your skills become better and you become more refined in your abilities, then you could move into something a little sportier.
It makes perfect sense to me. I do have a question about some of the horses that you see behind us, if you don't mind. I noticed that, you know, one of them has like, some of them have little, you call it what?
A fly mask.
fly mask. It almost looks like they can't see anything, but they can see through it.
It's just
And,
a woven mesh, and it just prevents the insects from getting into their eyes.
Okay.
Some horses will get a little sensitive with the flies around their eyes.
Okay. All right. It's really interesting. I know to the horses and to our viewers, it's almost like there's a fashion show here because the horses all have sort of different little, little outfits on. But again, I assume there's a purpose
sheet
for that.
Yep. A scrim sheet or a fly sheet.
Okay.
And hers, because she is black, and the owners would like to keep her black, she wears that, and it just prevents the sun from bleaching her.
So it's like humans. If you're out in the sun, you're going to get the sun streaks, whatever. Horses are no different. So they're absolutely beautiful animals.
I would like to point out that these two I refer to as my old ladies.
Okay.
The chestnut mare is 23.
Wow.
Belongs to a gal over in Ray Township.
Not to interrupt you, but what is the average lifespan of a horse like that?
20 years ago, I would have told you 23.
Okay.
But today, it's not uncommon to have horses well into their 30s.
Wow. Okay.
And then the black mare is 27.
Wow. Wow. I can see why you're saying that. Oh, but they're really,
And they
it's amazing.
work 5 days a week.
Okay.
And
so they still hold their own. I like it. So they're kind of like, they say humans are living longer, right? Because of medical science. Do you think it's because of the care that they get now, the veterinary care and all that good stuff, preventative?
And the feed. We know so much more today about feed, and we can do things to keep them comfortable today.
Makes sense.
It used to be, if they had an injury, they were done.
Right.
And today we go, well, wait a minute, we can fix that.
Sure.
And that's great.
Yeah.
We can keep them going.
Absolutely. So, so it has nothing to do with pillow top mattresses and down blankets that you sleep on at night, but
well,
some of the owners probably do that. I'm probably not off base.
Actually, there are horses that are sleeping on pillow top stalls. We had a gentleman here a couple weeks ago showing us one-piece foam stall mats, and I'd like to have them in my aisleways just to walk around on.
Sure. Wouldn't it be great? Well, I have to tell you, it's really interesting, and like I said, you have a beautiful place here, and I would definitely encourage our viewers to come on out if you're interested in getting into this, or your children, or whatever. Come and see Will, or come see his staff here. It's really beautiful out here, and they have a really nice facility. So, again, I wish you the best in the future. I hope to see you again, and I wish you the best.
Take off your hat, throw it in the corner. Take off your hat, throw it in the corner. Take off your hat, throw it in the corner. I don't see why you stay a little longer. I'm talking about Boo-Zoo. Woo! Boo-Zoo, that's who. Oh, yeah. Hey, oh, yeah. Come on down. Stay a little longer.
Hey everyone, it's Julie with Let's Get Strolling, and today we're talking to Oakland County Sheriff Department, and this is Lieutenant Patterson. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm intrigued with what you guys do here. It seems very, we're in the back of the building here, and it's very, private and investigative feeling. I want to know, what do you guys do for the township here?
Well, actually, the township contracts with the police services through the sheriff's office. A lot of other townships do that, and any type of calls for service that the public would need as far as criminal related or any type of accident reports or anything like that, we respond and take care of those issues.
Well, it sounds pretty straightforward. So, I'm intrigued to know, with Oxford Township, it seems like there's not a whole lot of criminal activity. It seems like you guys might be kind of waiting for something major to happen. Is there quite a bit that goes on in this community?
I wouldn't say quite a bit. I mean, we try to do our best to keep the crime down here, and just like anywhere else, it's a good community. We try to do our best to keep it to be a safe community. This community has been hugely supportive since I've been out in this area. We've actually been contracted with the sheriff's office since 2000. I was actually one of the training officers that was training some officers on the road around that time, and I was actually brought out here for about the first 30 days to help open up the community, and it's been great. I mean, the Bill Dunn and the rest of the township board always highly supportive. The community, the citizens, always highly supportive. you can't beat the type of support you get from this community.
Well, I will say I personally feel a lot safer with you guys here. There's just something about your presence, and it's a testament that you guys are doing a fantastic job, because Oxford really feels very safe and is a great community, and that's what makes it enticing for people to live here, obviously. So as far as before you guys came in here, what did they have their own police department? How did that work?
Yeah, they had their own police agency, and they decided to do away with that. It's very cost effective to contract with the sheriff's office. You can, we take off on all the liability, all those things, just for a flat rate. And this is a growing community. I just see nothing but expansion for the future. That's why with the new substation here, moving over to this new location, as the other interview that we did before, we touched base on the fact that this was all built for the expansion, the growth of the community. So we pretty much have the opportunity to double our staffing levels with this here. We found out when we did our research with the other township substations that it was always a space issue, for growth for the future, for storage, all those types of things. It was also the thought process, like I said, of the township board and Supervisor Bill Dunn to have a central complex here, so that everything would be centrally located for where the main residential areas are for the township. If anybody needs to come here to do township business, they can also come down and see us, and it's really been very user friendly, not only for the officers but also for the community to come in and take care of all their business.
That's really interesting. As far as for our residents of the community to know, if anyone has a problem or a grievance or whatever, they can either walk in right to the substation here on Dunlap and talk to you guys here and get some help, or am I correct? And if they call 911, I assume it comes directly here if it's within a certain radius. How's that work?
Yeah, like I said, they contract for our services, so when they call, they're going to be getting us. But as far as to answer your question for the actual substation here, generally Monday through Friday between 8 and 4 hours, we do have a great secretary, Lori Collier here, does a fantastic job. She's our, the face to, first face to when the people come in. She's very friendly, very knowledgeable. She's been with us a long time now. And if for some reason the substation is locked up, people need to remember it also is a 24/7 operation. We're always here, so they can either call the non-emergency number or the emergency number on their cell phone or their house phone. But we also do have a yellow box out front there that if the door is locked and it's after hours or there's a different shift or it's the weekend, they can push that yellow box and it'll go straight to our dispatch center, and they can communicate their needs with the dispatcher, and they can assign an officer to come back, and either meet them at location at a certain site, their home, or come back here and talk to them and take care of their issues for them.
That makes me feel a lot safer, and I'm sure the people in the community. I didn't realize that it's that level of coverage that you guys do. Now, as far as, like you probably deal, like I said, with a variety of things in the community, domestic violence, etc., things like that you have to deal with. Do you guys have, counselors or anything like that? Like, what is the level of staffing and services in that way that you would offer? Are you guys specially trained in how to deal? I mean, because I can only imagine the situations.
Oh, sure. I mean, I feel very grateful that I've spent, I'm in my 27th year with the sheriff's office. I feel that this is one of the best, most highly trained, sheriff's office and police agencies, if not in the state, in the country, to be honest with you. And they train us nonstop to handle all sorts of different varieties of things that can come up. And that's what happens in police work. It's like you don't know what's going to come up and when it's going to come up. Like I said, we handle anything from, just meeting with people and offering advice and trying to mediate situations, all the way up to homicide investigations. And that's one of the nicest things with the sheriff's office is that you get all those other things when you contract with the sheriff's office is that, where there's 15 staffing, including me here, but you also get all the added incentive of our special investigative unit, helicopters, motorcycles, dogs, crime lab. I mean, you have everything at your disposal to take care of any situation that might arise.
I was actually just going to ask you about that. That is definitely the benefit of being kind of a part of a bigger thing because of all the resources that are available. And I would agree, that's fantastic. I was just going to ask about police dogs and all that good stuff, and it sounds like you covered that. Now I understand that you guys do some stuff in the community, I'm sure, as far as the school districts, that sort of thing. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do to kind of, get the name and get a good feeling in the community, what you do for that.
Oh, sure. I mean, all our officers are very professional here. They're very, minded to, stop and talk to a citizen. I think I've gotten out of my career, I've gotten more kicks out of, handing out stickers to kids. We got the little junior deputy stickers we hand out. They really like, that type of involvement. Meet an officer out there, you give them a sticker, you get a big smile on your face, and it makes me feel a lot better, I think, and I get more out of it than they do sometimes. But we also, the schools will actually call up and ask us to do tours from time to time, and sometimes we can have a dog available to take up to the schools, to different levels of age groups for different schools in the community, and we'll go there and we'll have stranger danger, or different talks to them about drugs or anything like that, to kind of help educate them on what to do and not to do for their safety and along those lines. And of course they always like to get a tour of the patrol vehicles and see the different equipment, and and do what we're doing right now with a Q&A type situation, where they give them an opportunity to ask some questions and realize that we're all human too. We're all working together to keep our community safe.
Yeah. And I will attest for our audience, obviously in the uniform you look all official and a little intimidating sometimes, but I have to say firsthand they're very warm and fuzzy, and that's all they it's the uniform. It can be intimidating, but they're not. They're actually warm, fuzzy, really warm people, and that's you're just here to help us in the community.
Oh, absolutely, and it's like I said, we're open to the community. We've had a lot of people come in, and we're planning on having an open house here scheduled eventually, so the public can have an official walk through the building and see exactly all the great things that were done with the substation here. A lot of citizens have taken on that upon themselves to come in and talk to me and some of my staff, and actually take a little bit of a walk around and check some things out here. And we've had nothing but positive feedback from everybody.
Well, like I said, you guys definitely do a fantastic job, and our community, I'm sure, is very happy about that. I have to tell you firsthand, my kids had you guys come out to the school, and unfortunately now they want a German Shepherd. So I'm I have a love-hate for you guys right now, because I'm like, that is a big dog to take care of. So, but no, it was fantastic, and like I said, it gives just a warm feeling. My kids really, respect, and then of course that goes on as they become adults, and it's good, healthy respect to have in the community. And you guys do a lot of good stuff for the community. So thank you again.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Hey everyone, it's Julie with Let's Get Strolling, and today we're visiting Wiches in Oxford, and I'm with one of the owners, Patrick. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. It smells really good in here, and I'm already seeing a million things I want to try.
Well, good. We have at least 1,000,001 for you. Lots of combinations, so keep it fresh.
I love that. Well, I have to comment first and foremost, on your challenge wall that I see. I want to know all about it. I don't know anything about it. Tell me about it.
Sure. Well, we have a giant, we call it the competition sandwich. It's a 4.5-pound beast known as Wichzilla. Features a pound of turkey, pound of ham, 12 slices of bacon, half a pound of cheese, lettuce, tomato, and our homemade garlic aioli sauce on a 13-inch sub bun. The contest based, if you can beat my original time of completing it, 30 minutes and 3 seconds, get your picture up on our wall of fame, $25 gift card, and a t-shirt. If you fail, you end up in our bathroom on our wall of shame, which sadly has a lot more people than the fame does.
Well, I did notice the Hall of Shame in the restroom when I came in, and I have to say I would probably end up on there. But I'm thinking maybe if I fast for a week, perhaps I'll come in and try that.
Well, people have different strategies. Some want to eat a lot before to stretch the stomach. Some come in, want to do it really quick. Some want to pace it out. Either way, they almost always fail, so it's fun to watch.
That's terrible. Now, wait a minute. Have you done this yourself?
I did it. Before we opened, we did a friends and family VIP party, and the entertainment was me and one of my co-owners. We sat down each with a Wichzilla. He gave up halfway through to eat one of my mom's homemade desserts, and I powered through, set the standard, 30 minutes and 3 seconds, and we've had about 20 people be able to do it out of about 150 that have tried.
Wow, that's amazing. So it was your idea, and also I'm curious, not only was it your idea, how many repeat champions would you say do you have?
The record holder, Jake Ladder, he's done it twice, both times posting insanely unbelievable times. And we've had, I think, 2 other guys have come in. One did it twice, the other one did it 3 times. We had to put a 6-month moratorium on it because they were coming in and just eating for free all the time because they just get these gift cards. They were bigger guys, and for them it was a great bargain. But we want to make sure it's still that, that unique once-in-a-while challenge thing.
Did you have to end up making the sandwich bigger at any point?
No, it's mostly been staying the same size, 4.5 pounds out the gate. We knew it was a challenge, and like I said, it's about an 80% failure rate. So I think it's good where it's at.
I love it. I think that's such a fun and interesting concept, and it's definitely a challenge for the Oxford residents and beyond to come on out, even other communities, come on out and try the challenge. Now, as far as your menu, I am noticing some really interesting things about your menu. Mainly the names of, I'm looking over at the menu right now, and I'm seeing, Pat's Blue Ribbon, but it's not Pabst as in beer, of course. It's Pat's. Is that you, or is that someone else?
That's me. That was actually one of our creations by one of my teammates here, Jake. We do a contest every time we do a new menu. We let each teammate put together their own sandwich and present it, and we taste it, and we see which one's going to work out and which one gets the most votes. And Jake's PBR, as we call it, made the list, so we put it up there, and it's one of our biggest sellers.
Oh, my gosh. So who comes up with the actual names?
For the most part, it was myself and my partner, but in that case, Jake created it himself. There's a couple others that were up there and made by teammates. They create the name. So if you make the sandwich, you make the name, and if it sticks, it sticks.
Now, I do notice, too, for residents that haven't been in here, and you guys definitely have to come on down. I mean, I'm, like I said, really impressed with the menu. So when you come on down, you definitely have to, perhaps, do you have customers that could come up with ideas? Do you have people that make suggestions?
Oh, yeah. We have lots of suggestions always pouring in. My motto's always been, it's not what I want to sell, but it's what people want to buy from me. So if people have great ideas, I got no problem trying them out.
And that's why you're successful, because you aim to please, right? And so that's quite obvious. Now, I'm telling you, I see a sandwich I'm interested in because I myself am a bacon girl. Probably not the best, but BLTs are my fave. And I see one called the BBA BLT. Yes, thank you. It's a tongue twister a little bit. What does BBA mean?
BBA means big bad butt. Another word for butt that starts with A.
Oh, a 3-letter word. Okay, we're very family friendly here, so we're not going to go there, but I love the creativity that these guys have. So give me just a little background as far as how you started here, how long you've been here, and give me a little background on that.
Well, I went to MSU, switched over to hospitality business when I decided being a lawyer was going to take too long and be too much work. So I decided I was going to work my way up to general manager at a restaurant and open my own sandwich shop somewhere. So that basically mapped out the next several years of my life. We opened here in Oxford in December 2009. Been going strong ever since, so 5.5 years now at this point. We come up with a new menu at least once a year. Always try to keep it fresh, keep what works. And even if we take something off the menu, we usually keep it on our secret menu you can find on our website. So if your favorite goes away, you can still have access to it. So even though we have about 26 sandwiches up there, our entire menu is closer to 40 if you're in the know.
Sure, and then of course we don't want to forget, it looks like you also have your desserts. There's a kids menu, soups and salads, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, my mom actually works for me full-time. She's a retired teacher, and she makes all of our desserts from scratch. We also specialize in gluten-free. She makes our gluten-free breads, our gluten-free desserts. So it's nice. Some people have a problem making time to visit their mom. I get to see mine almost every day making all of our homemade cookies, brownies, and gluten-free items.
I like your strategy. That works. Well, you know what? I would love to see kind of the back, what goes on behind the scenes, and maybe we can make a sandwich. Maybe you can make my favorite sandwich, the BLT, the BBA BLT. So you want to head on back?
Sure. Come on back, guys. Let's have an adventure.
Well, all right, Patrick. It's fascinating back here. I don't know what any of this stuff is, so I'm actually going to hand the mic off to you and let you explain to our audience kind of what we're seeing here, okay?
Sure. Well, this is where the magic happens. This is our kitchen, and if you can see it, this is an exceptionally large kitchen for a sandwich shop, but we make good use of it. We make almost everything from scratch here. We cook all our own meats, make our own sauces, homemade breads, homemade desserts. We're just trying to take the familiar sandwich and really take it to the next level. Next to me here on my right-hand side, we got our Pride and Joy. This is our Old Hickory commercial smoking pit. We added this guy last year when we actually opened our second restaurant, Wiches Barbecue in downtown Lapeer. We do a lot of our smoking up here, but it also helped us out because we do our house smoked pulled pork, make our own bacon, we do brisket, we smoke our own jalapenos to make chipotles. So we have a lot of fun with it and really experiment and try to take stuff to the next level in the sandwich world. But if you want to come with me, we can kind of take a look at everything we got here. We still have some of our fresh baked bread. made from scratch, made by hand every single day. You know, all the other chains ship in the frozen bricks of bread they thaw, they put in the oven, they claim that's fresh. Now, this is made with 6 simple ingredients: water, yeast, honey, flour, lots of love, and a touch of oil. So you can come in and try it. We do white wheat, we do our gluten-free as well. Really tasty. Over here, we got my junior pitmaster, Adam. He's doing some of our meat prep for the barbecue restaurant. You can see he's breaking down some ribs for us here. Those will end up in the smoker, get flavorful and juicy. All right, so we're over here. We're going to have you actually make that sandwich that you wanted to try because, well, there's no such thing as a free lunch, so we're going to put you to work here. So we're going to start off with, this is called the Wiche size. It's our 6.5-inch bread. You want to leave a little hinge on there. We want to hinge it open so it sticks together. It's all right, guys. She's a rookie. We won't hold it against her. And you're eating it anyways, so... All right, so we're going to fold that open. We're going to start with one of our homemade signature sauces. This is called our Wiche sauce. Now, this is a homemade garlic aioli. Aioli is kind of like a mayonnaise, a little bit lighter, a little bit healthier, made fresh every single day with some eggs, oil, fresh garlic, salt, and pepper. So put it on there. Feel free to be liberal with it.
Can I put the whole thing on there?
Well, you can, but you're going to make a mess out of yourself. And here we want to make sure everything's about balance so the flavors work in harmony. That looks good. That's a good amount. So, of course, the BLT, one of those letters T, our fresh cut tomatoes right there. Feel free to load it up. Our BLT comes with extra tomatoes because, hey, remember it's big, bad, budded. There we go. Looks like a good amount. Now we're going to slide down a little ways. Got some of our really fresh cooked bacon over here at the very end. Now our BLT comes with 5 pieces of bacon. You get the big one. It comes with 10. That's over half a pound of bacon. And if you want to put a little extra in there, I won't tell the boss. Don't worry. And now, like all our sandwiches, we're going to throw that into our toaster oven, get it nice and hot and crispy, and really let that flavor come together. Put it in there. Yep, now keep it opened up so that you want to make sure that inside gets hot, too. You don't want cold bacon now. All right, and that's going to start its 2-minute journey to the end. We're going to have that hot and ready BLT for you. We'll put some lettuce on it, and you're ready to enjoy one of our fantastic Wiches.
Well, that was pretty easy. Could I maybe, work here at some point? You might allow it?
Well, I don't know. Experience is preferred, so...
Yeah, I do need a little more, but it looks fantastic. It looks like there's a lot of options for people here. So.
Well, come on down. Let's enjoy some Wiches here. We make everything from scratch. The heart of Oxford, 5 years plus in county. We're here to stay even more. I appreciate you guys coming down.
It's awesome. Well, I have to say thank you for having us. Thank you for letting me make my favorite sandwich. I can only imagine how awesome it's going to taste. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And join us again on Let's Get Strolling.
Hi, I'm Connie from Connie's Kitchen here on OCTV, which is channel 99 on AT&T and 191 on Charter. Join us here on OCTV, join me in Connie's Kitchen, and learn to have fun in the kitchen, to relax and enjoy yourself. Come on, what'll it hurt? You'll have a good time.
Hi everyone, don't forget you can purchase DVDs of your favorite shows from OCTV, whether it's Minutes by Minute, Our Community Access, or Connie's Kitchen. Just call the station. Our number is 248-628-9658. And enjoy watching all of our shows on OCTV.